business expenses. 2 kilos of booger sugar. 1,000 singles of strippers. Write that off as a business expense. Hey, Joe, can you put away that crack pipe, bro? This is a public news network, all right? I would hope that you could at least show some professional... We're live? Hello, everybody, and welcome to Unprofessional News. That's right, it's your favorite newscaster, DB, coming in today, aka Dylan. And that's because today I'm joined by my other friend, B, who's Bob. Bob will be taking over the analytics report behind the news that we got. But just to give you a little brief synopsis, that's right, people, the Disney Plus Goosebumps show has now been renewed for a season 2, and we actually get a brief plot synopsis as to what it's going to be about. Now, for those of you who forgot, this show is extremely controversial. It stirred up a lot of talk within the community. It was a new thing people were looking forward to, and everybody took it within their own ways. And just to go by our last 2023 report that we had involving the show, let's just take a look back at that. And this was according to the statistics, also a analysis breakdown by me and Bob. So what we wrote down for the show was that it was, and I quote, a big old piece of trash, doo-doo garbaggio, stupid, mind-numbingly dumb, visual lobotomy, worst plot points, worst characters, cringe, we are not humping our way to victory, and I quote, by Martin Luther King, and also, Condu, what the hell? He looked like Jonathan Schiller. Show got a 4 out of 10. So it was not good. In this case, this would tie to basically being a Hall of Fame prestige doo-doo garbaggio show. I mean, this thing has leveled up all the ranks. It's got the doo-doo skin on Fortnite. This is really just the epitome of a terrible show. And it's leveled up. Now it's getting to season 2. However, the season 2 seems to be going within the right direction because as we can see, season 2 from the plot synopsis is actually a little bit more interesting. It's going in a different direction than what I expected it to be, and this actually makes it more promising, more exciting a little bit to both of us. But let me give it over to my colleague Bob, and he'll be covering over what exactly the news is entailing. Bob, why don't you take it away from me real quick?
Hey, thank you so much, Mr. Dylan. All right, we're gonna take it over right now. Just give me 1 second. I just gotta get my pen real quick. You know, we're ready to go in just a minute.
All right, guys, it's Bob over here, and we're gonna be covering. You said my voice changed. You think my voice sounded different or not? Sounds good. Okay. So we're going to be going over what the Season 2 news is about. So for those of you who don't know, Season 2 of the new show is basically going down a different plot line. That's right, there's a different story point going on. And that story point is that now we're getting rid of the old cast of characters. And we're going to be going into new characters, aka actually a duo of siblings. And this duo of siblings is going to be investigating the disappearance of 5 teenagers, potentially in a new location. And they're going to be unraveling the mystery, seeing what happens. Maybe part of their house has to deal with the mystery and lore. And we're basically getting a reboot to the show. So each season is kind of going to be anthological and go down different storylines. It won't be the same stories for everything. So that's actually pretty interesting. So that means we can get rid of those humping our way to victory lines, that Margot cringe, that Mr. Brat character disdevelopment, not development, regressive development. We can get rid of all that stuff. And now we can talk about new horizons, new potential, new business plan, new things to look forward and watching. And let me give it back over to Dylan. Dylan will be covering the last bit of it. Ain't that right, Dylan? Yes, of course. That's going to be dealing with the new show. How's the wife doing, Dylan? She doing all right? Yeah, after that last, cheating accusation and, you know what I'm saying, selling narcotics, I gotta pay the bill somehow, right? Ain't that right? My friend Bob, of course, I understand you, bro. I 100% get it, all right? All right, guys, it's Dylan back. You know what? Screw this. Whatever. Show's canceled. All right, guys, it's Beatty here. What's up? How you doing? Yeah, we're talking about Goosebumps Season 2. And Season 2 is going down a completely different route. That's right. Season 2 of Goosebumps is basically covering a brand new storyline. We're rebooting, out with the old, in with the new. So yeah, apparently the new plot line for Season 2 of the Disney Plus show is going to be that there's now new characters. It's going to be these teenage, basically siblings, that are going to be investigating a mystery behind kids that disappeared in 1994. Now, this to me is pretty promising in terms of the show, because obviously I wasn't a fan of the first season of the show. I thought it missed the mark on a lot of parts, and I even made a video talking about how Disney probably would have done better if they would have adapted Fear Street instead, because a lot of the stuff that they were aiming for felt more like Fear Street. But Season 2 going down a new plotline is promising, because now we got a new drawing board, all right? This is new avenue. This is a new story. We can get rid of the old stuff and actually try something new. And I actually like the premise to Season 2 so far better than I did the premise of Season 1. Because Season 2's premise, investigating, this mystery behind kids disappearing, these teenagers disappearing in 1994. Now, this could be a reach. I don't know. But this, to me, almost sounds like it's homaging a Goosebumps story from the OG62 that's actually a fan favorite and a really well-liked story. I don't think it's talked about enough in terms of goated discussions for books, but it's definitely well-liked and does get positive reception, and that's The Haunted School. The Haunted School dealt with a class of kids who actually disappeared off the face of the planet, off reality, and nobody knows what happened to them. And basically the main characters in this book, of Haunted School, are basically investigating what happened to them, what is the whole story behind everything, and as they investigate, they find out the truth. It's very dark, very disturbing, and very somber. It's a very somber, very deep book, and the fact that Stein wrote something dark like that, it reminded me of Welcome to Dead House, where the book felt unnaturally different to other Goosebumps books. The Haunted School feels a lot more darker, a lot more creepy, a lot more eerie, and a lot more depressing with subject matter than other Goosebumps books do. So, to me, this may be a reach. They say they base it off of R.L. Stein books. We don't know how faithfully they're going to adapt the material this time, but so far the story premise sounds like Haunted School, where you have these kids. In this case, they're also students, these teenagers who go missing. I think the kids in, obviously the kids in Haunted School were back in the day because the book was written back in the day, but this is a modern take, so 1994 works. Them investigating the disappearance of why they left. I like that mystery aspect, and I like the vanishing aspect more than I did in the Season 1 plot, where basically they were just trying to figure out what their parents did in the past. Like, I know what you did last summer, that kind of thing. Like, they're trying to figure out what their parents are guilty for and what exactly is going on. This is a lot more kind of haunting, and it, again, reminds me of Haunted School. So it feels like it's starting off on the right track. This feels like it's starting off in a Goosebumps adaptation direction. How faithfully it will go, I have no idea. We don't know much else about the show. We just know the plot synopsis. Apparently, it's supposed to be 8 episodes instead of 10, so they're keeping it concise. A lot of people had problems with the last season because there was a lot of filler episodes. 8 episodes, if they can do it well, will cut out that filler. Again, depends on their production, directing, and writing, but that is a step in a better direction. And the new cast is good. I hope they do a great job with the casting. I hope they do better than the first group's casting. And you know what? No offense to them. No offense to the cast in the first season, but maybe it just could have been they had bad material, which is most likely the case. So I hope that this season has better writing. It has a better direction. I hope that, it learned from the mistakes of the first show, because, you know, as in any press conference or information release, they were talking about how the Goosebumps 2023 show, season 1, was like the most loved show on Disney, and it was so tuned into and so watched, and it got such positive reception. Are you sure about that? Psych! No, it didn't, bro. No, it didn't. No. It was quite the opposite. But I get it. Business standpoint, you gotta lie to make it sound better. But again, so far, I like the direction that the show is taking. I like the fact that they're rebooting the story. I like that we're getting a new cast, a new story, hopefully a new setting. Hopefully we get out of Port Lawrence and go to a different setting. I like the premise being more like Haunted School. Again, to me, I get a feeling like it's paying homage to that in a certain way. And you dealt with the whole idea of ghost and creepy stuff and, you know, parallel magic and stuff like that. You know, that kind of stuff kind of ties to Haunted School. So you can take aspects of season 1, sprinkle it in here. And yeah, I'm hoping for the best. Obviously, we don't have any more information. I can't reveal more than that. But season 2 is announced, and we got a plot synopsis. So for any of you that may have had some severe doubts about it being the same storyline continued, the Slappy Show, the Condu Fest, you know, whatever, no, we're getting a fresh new slate. We're going to be getting a new cast of characters, a new story, and it's going to be going in a different direction. Now, I just hope that the writing, the acting, the producing, and everything goes well. It seems like they're making improvements, but the final product is what matters, and I will be tuning in when it comes out and being 100% honest. You know, I want to keep it honest. I'm going to let you know my thoughts, and they have expectations to beat. You know, a lot of people say sometimes you got high expectations. A lot of people have low expectations for the second season. So if they manage to impress us here, all right, man, we're going to be getting into a new show. And even though it's going to be a different format, as long as it's good, I don't care. The only thing I care about this new show is it's good. It has good writing, has good direction. It at least feels more like Goosebumps than the first season did. And yeah, that's my main things. But that's all I have for today. Hope you guys enjoyed that little news report. And yeah, unprofessional news, tuning out, BD tuning out, and deuces. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and do it for my news station. You know, I need to crowd funds. I need to do well. Completely ignore the fact that I brought up those business expenses in the beginning, but who don't like hoes? And booger sugar.